Okay, today is Tuesday, August 19th. Right now it's 12:41 a.m. Pacific time. So the London market is opening right now, and this week I am watching the euro breakout. So the euro has been trending up in the last couple of weeks here, last 2 months almost, and I've been looking at a good currency to buy it against. So right now I'm watching Euro AUD. I watched through a couple of these pairs, and right now I was looking at Euro AUD or Euro CAD as an opportunity to buy. And the reason why I picked Euro AUD is because the strength has been a little bit greater than Euro CAD. CAD, even though it's been trending strongly for the last several weeks, on the monthly time frame, it's actually range bound, actually for several decades now. Whereas the Australian dollar, it's technically range bound as well, but it just looks a little bit stronger in my eyes. Um, yeah, Euro Yen, it's a little bit tough right now. It could also break out past 173. Euro USD, it's kind of just chopping around and it may go down at any time. But I've noticed the commodity currencies are generally weaker these last few weeks. So that would be primarily the Australian dollar and Canadian dollar. And the euro and pound have been trending somewhat strongly. So let me focus on Euro AUD and I'll show what I'm looking at. Starting with the weekly time frame, I see this very nice tight consolidation forming ever since the end of March or beginning of April. And what's really good is all the Ichimoku lines are in order. So price is above the Tenkan Sen, which is above the Kijun Sen, and both are actually pointing upwards. So that's good. And those are both above the Kumo. And the trailing Chikou is also above the price. So this is a very nice upwards stable trend. So I'm looking at the daily time frame. There is no trend yet, but it could break out at any time. We're in fact approaching the 1.8 level. Looks like we're testing it and trying to break out in this session. So the 4-hour chart, it's starting to form a bit of a trend here. I was watching this ever since the Asian session, so this candle didn't happen yet, but I was looking at this attempt at breakout around 10. What was that? Oh, sorry, this was the New York session. But yeah, I was looking in case it would break out, and now it looks it has. So all the Ichimoku lines are pointing upwards. Okay, so the 1 hour, this is clearly has been broken out now. So I started watching since about 2200. So I saw this candle close into these wicks here. I waited one more candle and I saw this pin bar form. So already after this candle closed, I saw it was different than these couple of highs here. There wasn't very strong effort to be able to push the price back down. Okay, so let's go in, and I was looking at the 15-minute chart to confirm this, and even the 2-minute chart. So the 15-minute chart, let's see, towards the end of the Asian session, this is where the price action got my attention, pushed all the way up to 1.798. Came back a little bit. I was actually kind of skeptical it would break out without, going past this previous high here, 799. But it retraced, and then right at the London Open, it floated back up to 179. So how did this happen on the 2-minute chart? So it got pushed down, came back quite aggressively 2 times, and then it was sitting here ever since the London Open. So where I entered my exact buy was at 12:28 a.m. and 12:30. So 28, okay, so it was right here. in terms of the 2-minute chart, we've already been above the previous high for 1, 2, and then on the third candle I bought, and then on the fourth candle I bought. So now it looks like it's breaking out in earnest. I haven't been trading for the last several weeks here, but I was trying to find a good trending market, which has been kind of sparse, but now Euro may resume its breakout. So in terms of the daily trend, this is still early. It hasn't broken out of this range yet, but it has broken out of this descending trend line, and now it's above the price is above the Tenkan Sen here. So the next challenge will be to see if it can break out of 1.8, we'll call it 1.81. So if there's no significant resistance there, then we may be able to go all the way up to the 1.85 area, which was the previous high, and maybe even surpass it. So these are the technical setups in terms of price action I see. Euro AUD, the previous highs have been back in March of 2020, which was almost 2. Yeah, we'll call it 1.98. And then previously during the 2008 period, it got above 2. So if this continues, we could make a stab at the 2 level area, but that's, you know, on the monthly time frame. Right now I'm just watching, trying to watch the trend unfold more on the 4-hour time frame. So those are the technical setups. In terms of the geopolitical news that's causing this setup, the European leaders met with US President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky just today in the White House. So this week is several large talks that have been happening around the Russian-Ukraine conflict. So yeah, if this does end in a peace deal, the euro could appreciate substantially, and I think that's what traders in this market are starting to price in. So the conflict broke out in 22. We're well above those levels now, but just taking into account the, you know, shock of the euro selling off, there should be an equal, almost in magnitude, shock of it going up on this good news. Now it doesn't mean it will stay there for long, but you know, as the market tries to gauge how material this news is, we could see some volatility unfolding in the European currencies. Let's just take a look at pound AUD for comparison. So even the pound has been appreciating substantially. Just like the euro, it sold off in the early half of 2022, even into the second half, into September. But since then, it has been appreciating. Let's look at what the dollar is doing for comparison. So I was also looking at AUD USD. So I was thinking to either sell the AUD for USD or euros, and the euro market setup looked a little bit cleaner to me. The dollar hasn't been seeing remarkable strength in the last several weeks to months here, so I thought euro was a better candidate to sell or to buy with selling Australian dollars. But we see the same move happening in terms of the 1-hour time frame. So I saw this candle close, this 2200 candle. It pierced below the lows here, and in this greater context, this 4-hour chart, it looks like a head and shoulders pattern forming, with it about to break out of the Kumo boundary here. I didn't buy right away, and then this recovery shot way back up above the previous highs in the 15-minute chart here. So I could have sold, or yeah, AUD USD but comparing against the euro, even we see in the 15-minute time frame, it's not reached the previous levels of breakout as the euro has already done so. So in terms of the euro, we see in 15 minutes it's already surpassed the previous highs, whereas AUD USD has not surpassed the previous lows. So it looks like, at least in the short term, I made the right call in picking the euro over the dollar. But we need to see if this move can continue in the 1 hour and the 4 hour time frames. So right now I have a 1% risk on down to my stop loss. Stop loss is at 1.78969. Yeah, I could hold this if I'm trading the daily time frame and just hold it here. Euro AUD is quite spiky in any time frame below 4 hour or even 1 hour. So it's going to be kind of hard for me to move my stop losses with any certainty here. So I was thinking to originally take a 2% risk, but I'm not sure if I'm prepared to hold through this spikiness in the medium time frames. So I may just go with a 1% stop loss or 1% risk for now. And even if the price does break out, it can still retrace. We may not get a very clean breakout initially. Like we can see, there have been several breakout attempts in the past several months. One happened in July, another one tried to happen at the end of July, and just all of these are very uncertain. So yeah, I'm right now I am up almost 400 in P&L. That would be how many pips? Approximately 21 pips, and I am risking approximately 90 pips. So yeah, still not 1-to-1 yet, but this breakout does look good so far. Anyways, I'll provide more updates on my second trade of this year, this month in August.